ಎಐ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರಕವೋ ಪೂರಕವೋ? ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತುಕತೆ ನಡೆಸಲಾಯಿತು. ಎಐ ಅನುಕೂಲಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕ ವಿವರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಎಐ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಏನಿದೆ ಇದು ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರಕನ ಅಥವಾ ಪೂರಕನ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಗೂಗಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತುಕತೆ ನಡೆಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದರ ಅನುಕೂಲಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ವಿವರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೊದಲು ಭಯ ಇತ್ತು, ಆದರೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಆತಂಕ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಎಐ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಜನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಅಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 60% ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲವಾಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಅದೇ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಹೊಸ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಯುವಜನತೆ ಸಜ್ಜಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸಲಹೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೆಬಾಸ್ಟಿಯನ್, ಗೂಗಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕರು.
The commissioner walked me kindly through the various exhibits here. Just seeing some of these projects is kind of amazing to see how AI is being leveraged in transportation, in military defense, and so on. I personally believe almost anything will be invented. So, for example, my sister died recently of cancer, and the sad stuff, part of the story is that the cancer was very healable, but it was found too late. It was a breast cancer. I think that that's not going to happen in the future anymore when we invent better AI that monitors us every single day and diagnoses us every single day for things that are possibly lethal and not yet symptomatic. I think we saw a prototype of a flying car here. I think at some point here in Bangalore you're going to fly to the airport. It's not going to take an hour, it's going to take 5 minutes. And you'll be very, very happy about this. And your roads will be empty and you can put green areas there. These are just two examples of things that are going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
And these all sound really promising, but I presume a lot of this job is also dealing with failure, right? So just between you and me and the few hundred people in the office, in the audience, how many of these moonshot ideas are actually a success, and how much of it is dealing with failure?
So at X, this is for private consumption only. We had a lot of failures. My most famous failure was Google Glass, which I thought would at some point replace the smartphone, that it hasn't. In fact, it's quite the opposite happened. And it was an audacious idea. We loved it, but I don't think it was correctly executed on my end, so I take the blame for it. We put at some point balloons into the stratosphere to build a Starlink-like network to communicate. That failed, Loon, in part because of geopolitical considerations. Putting it into space is much easier than putting it into the stratosphere from a geopolitical perspective. But you know what? In Silicon Valley, you always look at these marvels of like success, like Facebook and Google, but for every success, there's like 1,000 failures. And that's really important. And it's really important to remember because failures are actually good things. They teach you new lessons. You learn something interesting. And hopefully you never make the same mistake twice again.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, what percentage do you think of ideas actually make it, and how many of them fail?
My personal average is about 30% made it, 40% made it. That's pretty much the same as the world's best baseball players. Like sports people also fail, turns out. So it's not, people in soccer fail, people in cricket fail. So the 30-40% is actually pretty good. If you look at investment perspective, the work we did at Google X probably created $200-300 billion of valuation in Google, inside YouTube and other places in Google. And it costs us tens of millions of dollars to do this. So the nice thing about investments is if you fail, then you lose your money. But if you succeed, you might get 1,000 times your money back. And that makes it worthwhile to invest.